What is that weed lane that we're talking about? Lane where you can what? Exit and enter?
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Where do you find those around here? Have you seen them? Anybody? We have them, and they're pretty dangerous. What's the hazard here? If you're the one that's trying to get on. There are people getting off. Okay? So describe, you're getting up to what? Getting up to speed, and they're doing what? They're what? They got to decelerate to make their exit at the same time. Okay? The hazard is this. Obviously, vehicles are crossing each other's paths there, hence the term weave. Okay? As you're trying to speed up, they're trying to do what? Okay, so what's the problem? It's not safe? That's absolutely right. You're supposed to be, who yields to whom when getting on the freeway? The people what? Yeah, I know, they're both O words, I'm not sure which one they're choosing. But you're right, Alexander, it's the people getting on are supposed to yield to the people already there, even if they're trying to get off. But they're getting off at what speeds? Slower speeds. How does that make sense? You're trying to speed up and yield to somebody that's slowing down. You can't speed up then, right? Still, it makes it extremely dangerous for you to try to get on here. How are you going to do it? Well, this is a scenario much like what we have on our freeway drive. If you're doing so great by the end of the freeway drive, if we go out to Covington, Maple Valley, make our way back if we have time, we'll go westbound past Auburn and get on 167 going south. That would be like here. Here's Highway 18. We go into the freeway, and then on the other side, we get on going south on 167. And you've got a weave lane right there where we encounter a lot of congested traffic sometimes. Trying to get off, so don't freak out with them right by your side. Typically what we'll do is we'll just try, we won't make that entrance because it's just too heavy. If you can't make an entrance, you do what? Just like if you can't make an exit. What do? Go to the next one. So where do we go? Here? It's too heavy, you can't make it, so yeah, you just go on. And try again. Go under the freeway, and then get back on the other side maybe, and you can find another entrance ramp. Maybe where you can try, eh? Yeah? Yes, that's it exactly. It used to be so short. Right now they extended this acceleration lane so you can get up to speed a little bit better. But it used to be so short that many people couldn't make it. And they got rid of it entirely up at the end of 118 where I-5 meets there in Federal Way. They got rid of it because it was so dangerous. So here we go. That's what we do. If we can make it, what do you shoot for? You're getting on, you're speeding up, There's traffic, you gotta yield to them, and then you aim for this area up here. Okay, this is called a gore point. You're not allowed typically to cross it, but that may be the point of getting on right there, because you've gotten up to speed in this weave lane. In order to match what? A flow of traffic. They're already on the freeway. And then we'll get on. Maybe go down and do an exit at the Supermall area. Get off there. Only if it make it good through all the rest. That's pretty complex stuff. We don't typically get around to it all, but we want to teach you. It may be out there. You got to watch for it. Okay, that's your weave lane. Lane changes, passing. How about another kind of passing? We didn't talk about it yet. We probably only ever talk about it on our freeway drive or any of our drives because we don't get a chance to pass people. Typically why? Because we're going speed limit, yeah. They're going slower. Typically, only if they're in the slow lane on the freeway and they're a big and heavy truck, then we can try it. But we won't get around to it on two-way traffic. How do you handle a two-way traffic pass? You know, we're coming at the drive car here. When do you know if it's safe to pass and get around into oncoming traffic and then get back over? Anybody know the rule of thumb for that? Ever try it? Anybody try it here? I don't recommend it. I don't typically do it either. If I go east of the mountains and I take a Highway 2 or something, I'll practice doing it just to keep alert and keep my skill level up. It's easier to do in a Mustang that's souped up like that than it is in a drive car, so we typically won't try it in a driver's F car. But how do you know you have enough space? Well, the book says a couple of things. What do you think? You do. You need to, like they suggested, your sight distance, needs to be upwards of 20, 30 seconds. That's a half a mile down the freeway. In the book, they suggest very specifically, you need 1,600 feet to pass a vehicle safely at 55 miles an hour. This happens to be 1/3 of a mile. 1,600 feet, 1/3 of a mile at 55 miles an hour. And of course, you get it up to speed faster than the other vehicle that you're passing. And then the law says you better get back over in your lane when you're how far from that oncoming traffic. How many people know this? 200 feet, at 200 yards, 200 feet. All right, what is that? Well, let's say we're going to pass this slow-moving vehicle at that end of the classroom. And there's that little blue car. Tristan, you got it? Hold it up there. Think that's about a third of a mile? Proportionately? No. That's barely 100 yards, maybe 150 yards. Think that's it? No, probably about 200 yards. You got to go way beyond the classroom to get yourself some space to pass. Exactly, you got to go in the hallway. When you pass, watch this. We're passing single mirror, no shoulder go. You get around, and then you better get back over right about here as they're coming what? Actually, from what distance and how fast? Probably 60 miles an hour too. And now you're closing at what? Thanks. What are you closing at? If you're doing 60, they're doing 60? Say it again, Keegan. You got 120 miles an hour. You guys ever tried driving at 120 miles an hour? No, okay. You didn't want to admit it, maybe. Okay. 120 miles an hour. That's fast. I've done it. How far do you think you travel in 1 second? Really fast? Basically, you travel 200 feet at 120 miles an hour in just 1 second flat. So you have 1 second, according to the law, to get back over in your lane before you encounter oncoming traffic. That's the law. Is that safe? Probably not, especially if you've never done it before. You got to get used to that over time. It's hard to judge that distance. See, like what we were just experiencing there. Hard to judge that distance. So you got to get out on the freeway with us, and we'll Mr. McFarland did a great job. He said, how far is that vehicle at that sign just going across that bridge today? I just thought about it a little bit. 3 seconds, 4 seconds. Well, how far is that? Maybe that's how long it takes to get there. 3 seconds, 4 seconds at 60 miles an hour. How far have you gone? Only 150 yards, if that. Okay? And you need to go how far? To pass somebody on a rural highway at 55, 60 miles an hour? 1/3 of a mile. You got to kind of judge that with your eye. And that takes a lot longer to do. So don't try this at home, so to speak. Don't try this on any rural highway yet. Very dangerous. So we only talk about passing on a two-way typically in this class. Never actually do it. All right, let's look at some freeways. See how they're doing. What's your setting? What are you laughing about?